Greetings, everyone. My name is Tanner Bronson, and I am hosting the Major Championship of Design Contest with MattF27. It is October 6th, 2023, and we are playing Panther Creek National by Brian Petty. And so Brian Petty published Maxwell Plantation during the World Cup of Design. He did pretty well for himself there. I'm really quite excited to see what he has here. I saw some of the pictures that he posted here and there. The planting looks magnificent like always, and I just can't wait to see what he puts out here. I always like his courses, his routings, his planting, and the vibe that he always gives his courses is really interesting. So we're gonna jump right into it. A couple warnings. I am on mouse and keyboard, so it will be hard for me to do like a flyover. So I am not gonna do a general flyover at the start. It's really just gonna be me playing the course with my scout camera, and with that also, when I hit my ball, the camera does not follow my ball. I kind of like just seeing like where the ball naturally goes, seeing like all the blind tee shots and blind second shots kind of get me excited for what's going to happen on that green. So that's really just how I play and how I'm going to play these playthroughs. And I also wanted to let everyone know that I will not be streaming any of these playthroughs. I will be only recording them. My Wi-Fi is a bit finicky, and also I'm a college student, so it's much easier to just like sit down, record one real quick, and then upload it later that day. So that is what I'm doing now. It is like 9 o'clock in the morning. I got my coffee next to me. I'm prepared for my first ever design contest playthrough. Wow. Okay. Yeah, planting this marsh area is really interesting. I really like that's not like encroaching on the entire hole. But I like that it's very much in view. That's very nice. When we were looking at the start, like the camera pointing at our player, I saw all these here. We could do our best with camera. Good stadium feel at the end. What is this? This is 18, I'm guessing. Yeah, very cool. I'm noticing already that the textures are kind of messing with my eyes a bit, and I don't know if it's good or bad yet. I'm just gonna keep my thoughts to myself on that until I kind of get a census on how I feel. But really cool vibe. I really don't know where this takes place. I'll definitely take a look at that after we play, and I'll edit it in. All right, so we have a par 5 to start off. Wow, very long green, left to right. Very interesting slopes. Very subtle. I think for a par 5 and of this length of par 5, I think you're going to be surprised with how many people could get here. And then also with the amount of like short grass around it, it's going to be much easier to get up and down from wherever you are. So all right, let's try it. These bunkers are, they look very just like brushed placed down, like splined, like right, kind of like 50 degrees, not 50 degrees, but like 50-50 of the bunker is like engulfed by the the fairway spline tool. And you didn't really kind of spline the light rough around it, which I don't either sometimes, but usually I only leave like the spline running into the bunker brushes like at the front of the bunker. But when you're talking about like the back part of the lips here, I think that's when I want that's where I think it would be better if you had a bit of a ring of light rough, just to give it a bit more breathing space, because you're not going to mow a fairway that close to this finger of a bunker. So fairway sculpting, very subtle, but it works, and I like the hogsback type shape to it. It's very interesting. All right. Also, sorry if I don't know what to say. Like, this is my first like actual design contest playthrough. I'm gonna try my best, and we'll just work on it until I get it right. So, so part of my and just give me a bit of time to work it out. Be patient. But yeah, okay, cool. I like this green site. I like the bunker placement a lot. Yeah. Again, I think seeing a lip of light rough around this would probably make this a bit neater to look at. This ridge right here, I think that's very subtle and very cool. That could direct your ball into that bunker, bounce it onto this part of the green, but then also trying to get into that back section is much more difficult just because you have this ridge right here. I think that's really well done. Oh no. I'll be fine. There we go. Yeah, you know, just gentle handshake. I mean, this is major, so I hope it gets a bit more challenging. Wow, okay, different shapes of bunkers here. This Wes, where are you? Very nice bridge. Okay, so we have a shorter par 4 here, uphill. Honestly, I think we could have been neater with our bunker placement here. I think kind of you only have one option here if you're trying to carry these bunkers. It's really like, since you only have so much space to run the ball, like landing it on the left side of this bunker is really all you could do. Yes, you can head out of the light rough pretty easily, and like it's only 97% instead of like 60% from the heavy rough. But I think doing something else with this fairway up here would probably make it a bit more intriguing to go for it, especially when the pin is on the front part of the green, like the left side, so we could like play with angles. Like, it doesn't have to be easy to play with angles, and I think just maybe tweaking that bunker arrangement there would work. This fairway is nice. I don't like that you I like that you bunkered. I like that you did not bunker it. Sorry. And the fairway sculpting is it's rumply. I like the wave in it. So I'm gonna just play safe. Is that fairway? Yes. All right. Now, honestly, this reminds me of the first green. If it were just rotated about 45 degrees right. So, to the left. So when I say that, if you're looking at it this way, it looks quite similar. The green is long. You have that slope from like the middle of the green to the left, and then you kind of wrap around the back part of the bunker to the right. I think varying this green shape might be a good idea. Also, the bunker sculpting here is a bit rough for a second. I would just go in there and touch it up. But very cool. I like the knoll shape to it. Oh, geez, Tanner. We're going to see where that goes. Yippee! Alright. Cool little knob on the left side here. That's very nice. And I am really starting to notice like the wideness of the plot and how the course you could see everything, but like I see why you didn't put trees, so you could see all the city stuff and all the roads. Like that's great. I don't really know the inspiration of this course. Um, I really should have looked at that before, and I'm sorry, Petty. But there we go. Is that par? Oh, no bogey. All right, that's all right. Well, those first two holes are kind of really telling the whole story of the bunkering for me. So I'm not gonna really talk about the bunkering anymore. But it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not gonna make or break your course. It's just not my cup of tea. But we'll see how the judges think about that. But this whole marsh area and all the planting that you've done around here looks really cool and natural. So I can commend you on that. Like I could never do stuff like that. Wow, this green site is like dangerous. I could see these like wayward shots going so many ways. I sound stupid. Alright, sorry about that. My housemate is in my house and I got distracted. And alright, I'm back. But yeah, this green site's really interesting as well. I'm starting to notice that you're using a lot of external contouring. And I think what you might find with that is that you're not going to have really hard putts while you're on the green, but you're going to have really hard recovery shots. So when we are thinking about recovery shots, how do we punish them in the worst way? So you're probably going to use slope, but then bunker placement's a huge thing too. And I think you are doing that correctly. You are like having runoffs like off these areas that you have. I think I would have had like a little bit more of like a slope around like some of these edges here, just because of the difficulty and what what we're looking for in the contest. Major championship difficulty. Ooh, is that water? No, it's light rough though. This is reminding me a little bit. This course is reminding me a little bit of PGA Frisco. Just with the bunker placement and just how it is playing right now with all the runoffs and all those centerline bunkers and fairway around surrounding all the bunkers and greens. This bunker complex right here is very interesting. This is my favorite cluster of bunkers that you got going on so far. But mid-length long par 4, I think seeing that after the short par 4 is needed for sure, and a pretty mid-length short par 5 that's pretty easy. So seeing a harder hole come after all those three is very good. I apologize. I'm not the best player. I should like knock down my difficulty a tiny bit. But let's try that. Go. Yeah, much better shape. The first and second looked really similar to each other. I think this is a good change. Ooh, almost missed that one. All right. Very nice. Now, ironically, I say 1 and 2 look the same. 3 and 4 kind of look the same. And I'm sorry to say that, Petty. But so you have these kind of 2 cluster bunkers just short of the green, and then you have 2 bunkers on one side of the green that the green kind of just like wraps around behind a little bit. I do see a difference in the sculpting though, and I like that you are changing it up with an internal contour of that mound. Using that's great. For how long this hole is, it is looking a little bit 3-tiered, and for major championship, I'm okay with it. I think if maybe actually on your positive tempo course it would work well, but I do like this lower tier though, and how it kind of slopes from left to right and kind of towards that bunker. just so we could kind of help people out a little bit more, just because of how deep these are right now. With these bunkers, I would get the flatten brush here, and I would just get the fuzziest one on page 3. Get it to like the smallest size you can, and I would bring up the inches about bring up the height to about like a foot and 2 inches, and just kind of go around the bottom of your bunkers here. You'll miss out on you'll clear out a lot of the crippling in there. Crumpling, sorry. I'm playing so awesome. Jesus. Oh, wait. Oh, awesome. Too easy, Petty. All right. On to the next. Yeah, I like the side of the property here. I like that building complex that you got right behind the green. Very nice. So I'm getting to the point where I'm like, is this a major feel? And I'm not feeling the major feel yet. This fairway is very wide, and I've noticed that some of the other fairway, like 3, one was a bit wide as well. Well, not wide. One wasn't wide. This is pretty wide. But I am not really feeling a major feel. I am feeling a PGA Frisco feel, which I know is going to host a major soon. But, with crowd and just atmosphere, I'm not getting that yet. And I'm going to wait until I say any more on that, because I know Petty likes to ramp up near the end on his courses. Yeah, just bunkers again. Yeah, I like this one. That shape is cool. That might be, yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, cool. So we have a little layup area protected by these bunkers, and a green, again, kind of similar in shape to 1, with it also being like a good, long par 5, but it is a par 5, and I'm starting to see a pattern with the elongated, like, turned around shapes. So, and also, I love this little corner of the property with like the stands and everything. That's cool. I feel like we're kind of as isolated as it gets out here. So when I said that the major feel, I think that's just because of that. So that's why I'm gonna hold off on that comment for a minute. But I just like, these bunkers are sculpted nicely. I think, and the shapes are really cool and interesting. I think yeah, the textures aren't really doing it for me right now. Because I know there's better textures to choose here. And also, like, you could have done a neater job on that, on splining. But overall, the playability, like, yes, they might look the same, but they're still playing like good holes, and I'm not denying that. And it's also playing pretty difficult for like these par 5s that you got. I like that the 3rd hole and the 1st hole and this hole a lot. That par 3 in the middle is kind of forgettable, and I think it's forgettable just because of how similar it was to the approach on 3. I really should have made that. Like, and Jesus, Tanner. All right. And ironically, I was gonna say, Um, what was I gonna say? That I think this is gonna be a course that's gonna be hard to birdie. I don't think it's gonna be a course that you're gonna see high numbers on, just because of how much fairway there is, how light rough around the fairways there is, and also just like the green surrounds and the amount of times you need to shot shape really. And I'm not finding that many. Oh, well, I say that. Don't call Fetty out on that yet. I would mess around with these bunkers a bit more. I think, I don't know, it's just a combination of these grasses over here, the heavy rough that you were all like running into the bunkers on a couple holes before. It's kind of confusing me. We'll see. What's this green doing? Okay. Very cool helping back slope. That's very nice. Yeah. And now you're starting to like use this these fall offs a bit more, which I'm excited to see work on the next shot. I don't see the reason why I wouldn't bomb it just like right here. Oh, that's funny. Ate my words. Okay. And I like that we're seeing a much longer hole here, and also a lot more difficult. That tee shot now, that, you know, I've seen my ball roll, is a bit hard to hit, and there's a lot of camber behind those bunkers that you had. So, good, difficult, interesting tee shot. Yeah. I maybe would have liked to see this creek come in a bit more, and also this gets really, really, you know, ripply. So here's what I have to say, but it's gonna take time to figure this out. But and I might honestly do like a short quick tutorial on just like small creeks. But what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna actually take the flatten tool, and you're gonna get the brush on page 1, and you're gonna take that brush, you're gonna size it down all the way to as little as you can. And since you already did the water plane trick, good for you. You're supposed to do that with creeks like this. You're gonna only like bring it down from like wherever your water level starts, about only like a foot. So then you're gonna go down there and make your initial path, and you're gonna try to make some elbows. You're gonna make some like bends and everything. But if you're going for a straighter look, you're just gonna keep your mouse on a straight line, and then after that, I would go around the edges using the landscape raise tool and just clean up those edges, make the you know, the bank of the creek more defined, because that's what the creek is doing. It's eroding that land away. You really want you know, the land to be above the creek, and you're trying to make it look like it's being eroded back into the water after some time. Maybe a flood happened. So yeah, just maybe take a look at how you could you know, take out these little edges here. But very cool green. I think this is my favorite hole so far, though. Like, structure-wise, I think, and playability, for a major championship, I think it makes sense. And also is probably the most interesting because of how direct the water is in play. So I think that's why it's also a memorable hole, in my opinion. I think that's the most memorable hole so far. I'll say that. Not my favorite, but memorable. Wow, okay, no bunkers. Very cool. But it is 2:53, so we gotta stay vigilant. I would have placed your tournament objects here, maybe somewhere else. I would have maybe put them on the left side here so you could see your lovely little pond in the back here. Maybe some shorter stands or something. That would have probably worked. What is going on over here? I don't get this splining over here. It's, it's a little messy. But I like seeing all the bridges though, that's cool. Alright. Yeah, I think we're just getting a little sloppy. I don't know. Oh, I kind of see what you're doing over there, though. I like this green a lot. This kicker slope from right to left is really interesting. I was trying to work on these slopes more on Highland Park, just like these gradual slopers, and realizing how much they do. Because you could really just like start a ball over here, and when you're trying to aim for a pin that's tucked into this little bowl right here. I like that this is more of, it's almost like a hogsback green where it's like kind of sloping away from you over. I know there's a pin right there. And I know there's 2 pins up front and then 1 up there, which is fun. Let's play it. This one's cool. I think this is a win. Tanner, are you serious? Yeah, that's off the green. Oh boy. What am I doing? I apologize for my atrocious play. There we go. Okay. Now this is interesting. I like this a lot. And I like the bunker placement a lot more on here. And I think the way you ran the bunkers into the, ran the fairway into the bunkers is way more natural. This is cool. And for a shorter par 4, you really nailed like what you are asking of the player. Because you could lay back here and have such, you need such a more accurate shot with a long club into that really narrow green. This is my favorite hole. Very cool. Wow, okay, that went that far. Cool. Okay. So one thing I will say, I don't think you need the light rough that close, like to the water over here. And again, splining looks a little messy. I would just go around and just think about like how much the mowers could do. Just keep it real. Sorry. I'm gonna do a punch. These bunkers are pretty well sculpted. Maybe not that one. I like the bunker placement though a lot, and I really like this huge false front on the screen. This is really interesting and memorable. I could see landing in that back section being really hard, especially having it extend a good extra 10 yards. So you'll probably have like a good, you know, pitching wedge in instead. And using that like slope on that front left knob right there is going to be really hard to stop the ball from running off. So cool. Of course, that's gonna end up short. Yep. Yeah, good use of that. That's really cool. Woo. What? What? All right. Yeah, me playing this game will not be pretty during these not World Cup, these major playthroughs, and I apologize for that. But I am mostly just analyzing the design stuff. After 9, I'm gonna do kind of like a little synopsis just on like what I've thought so far, real quick. But yeah, I like that we're playing right into the city, onto this like, you know, little stadium that you got going on here. Very cool. You got the driving range to the left there. I think I would have split it more with some trees or something. Just it feels a little too open. So I would keep that in mind a bit. I think we're getting a little too simple with the bunkers. I think they're just getting thrown around a little bit. Position doesn't really matter for this hole that much, just because, like, yes, this bunker's in play, and yes, that bunker's in play for the wind. But honestly, it looks like you're going to want to play from the left anyways, just because you want to avoid that this front knob on the right. Yeah, I think bunker placement overall, I'll get to that after the hole. Just because we are already 32 minutes in. Alright, this will be a speedy playthrough now. I just realized how much time I've taken. But since I don't do really a flyover, I feel like I want to give more attention to the rest of the playthrough. So that's why I'm kind of taking my time here. Oh, what happened? Alright. Thanks, 2K. Alright, cool. Alright, so the front 9 concluded. I think overall, texturing is a bit off in places. I think bunkering looks fine. I think it just looks a bit thrown around and a little bit random. I just really wish like you just had the light rough just come around here like that, just in a bit more of a natural way. That's really because like this bunker placement looks a lot more natural. I really like the greens. They were a little samey at first, and I think you pulled away from that a bit more near the end of the back 9, which I was happy to see. I think the 8th hole was just really memorable because of how different that green shape was. I like this hole a lot, and again, you're using a lot of external contours, which I appreciate. And one thing I am noticing also is that you're using the 2 bunkers on one side of the green a lot, and I think what I would like to see on the back 9 is moving away from that pattern that you got going on. But clearly this is difficult enough for major. So that has been answered for me. Very nice. With the major feel, I don't think I'm getting that as much, but if it's playing hard, then it's okay. Yeah, those brushes look a little rough. Definitely want to look at those. Maybe on my second time playing through this that I'll understand that a bit more, but we'll see. This is a cool par 5. I like that big knob in the middle. The Maxwell muffin. Something that I saw last time on your World Cup. Very cool. Yeah, I think after 8, minus 9, 9 was a little bit of an but really, it's picked up. Whoa, look at the putt I got. I think I'm gonna ram it into this hill that you got going on behind it. Ooh, nope. Okay. Clearly I'm not on any tour. Alright. In for the bogey. Hold on. Sorry. My housemate is knocking on my door.
No, don't worry about it.
I haven't told him that I am recording for judging. I should have. But wow, this round is really messy for me. All right. The 12th hole, par 3. Wow, 200 yards for this. This reminds me of one of the par 3s at Frisco. So now I'm pretty sure that's your inspiration. Very nice. Good difficulty. I like this, how this one looks, and I like the area that it sits in. Overall, this is a good publish, Petty. I much respect the course's difficulty, and I think I will respect many of the course's difficulties. I'm really not excited to play, like, how I'm going to play all these major courses, but I'm gonna be beaten up after. Wow. Okay. This looks similar to your 11th back there. The par 5. Is what I'm worried about for this one. And wow, it got really dark really quick. But honestly, the dark a bit kind of helps you with how much planting you got in the marsh, which is kind of interesting. And that kind of shows up a lot on many petty courses when you have all those grasses that you put around and bushes. You do a good job with that. Yeah, again, just looks a little similar to 11, just cut off fairway and then green kind of separated a bit with bunkers surrounding everywhere. I'm trying to play turbo speed now. So I'm sorry, judges, for whoever is, you know, just wanting to get a quick look at it for the first time on here. You could definitely fast forward. I'm not going to be saying much more in the way of, you know, design. I think I've already said what I wanted to say on it. This is a pretty wide fairway, but I see why. And I see why you protected that right side. I think I just would have liked to see something else going on here for how wide the fairway is. It just looks very open and empty, especially near the green. So there's a good shot. Never mind. All right. Oh, I'm royally screwed now. Go in. Oh. Oh, don't roll off. Are you serious? All right. That's a good change of pace, though. I do like the fact that that felt a bit different. 8's still my favorite hole, I think. So now we got another long par 3. So the yardage of 7. that bunkerless par 3. Kind of similar to this because these bunkers aren't really in play. So I think just varying those yardages or varying the whole idea or shape could benefit you. Yeah, these greens are difficult. I like them. I really have had no problem with the green sculpting. It's been really nice. It's just more of the green shape and, like, you know, how the hole plays might be similar to the rest. Like, not this one, but I'm just saying overall greens. But the sculpting has been nice. See, you have space around here now with these bunkers. It looks a lot cleaner, and I think it just presents a lot better. This pond could have come in closer on the right here. I think that would have been a more interesting challenge because it would have challenged the, you know, this carry even more. So maybe doing that would have helped. This is a cool green site, and I'm glad that you kind of got away from that, like, 2 bunker left or right side. You got one big one on the right, and then 2 flanking in the front. And this green sculpting is great. I love this green. Yeah, these rolls are really cool, and I like the section that the pin is in right now. That might be good. Woo! Aw, it looked much closer. That's why I kind of like it without the camera, because, like, in real life, you know how it looks like, you know, like 2 inches close from like 120 yards, and then you know, like, walk up to it, and you're just like, wow, that is like miles away. Whoa, okay. Wow. Huge knoll. Yeah, we could have definitely been neater on the pond, and maybe use some planting here. Yeah. So I apologize for the length of this video. Like, again, this is my first time doing this, so I will know in advance to keep it a bit shorter. This green's awesome. I think for how sharply these bunkers are sculpted, like, it doesn't really fit the rest of the course, which I'm a little worried about. And also, that's a lot, and there you might want to go through there and touch that up. I love the idea, and I like that you actually have deep bunkers. I think I just wish I found the deep bunkers earlier in the round, unfortunately. So, but this plays great, and I like the farther you pull back, you have a full wedge, and you're not dealing with that knob that's on the left side. So that the strategy does make sense. Wow, that's wow. There we go. Decent chip. There we go. Some luck coming down the stretch. All right. 18. Yeah, I think I'm starting to notice that, like, I see which holes that I feel like you've done first, and then the holes that you've done last, which is a little interesting because yeah, this is where it's just like I place bunker here, and I don't really get it all that much. Yes, like, you could lay back, and these 2 bunkers are important, but it's really just throwing the needle here. That's off the fairway. I love the city, though. You did a great job on the city. Yeah, and now we're at the 18th, and we got this these grandstands surrounding the whole place. Very cool. I think I would have liked to see it a bit closer. I think it looks a little too far away. It's almost like the golfers got COVID and they can't breathe on you. All right. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I do like that bunker short, like around 75 yards out. That's cool. That works. Yeah, but like we are back to these like double bunkers left or right side, and that I think the comment with when I said that I could kind of tell which holes that you did first and last, I think that's like the main indicator. Not our best finish. 2 around, but all right, not a bad effort at the end. All right, that is Panther Creek. Very cool. I really think that you need to focus a little bit more on your bunker placement and focus on getting those textures to look a bit more correct. I think the color of the textures was maybe not your best choice, but it's the way it blended into the whole place. It grew on me a bit more. I definitely liked it more near the end of the round. But yeah. So how do I distance it? Okay, cool. So when I was playing those long par threes, especially 7, 239, and 244, these two played really similar. And then we had another par 5 like distance thing that was kind of the same. Just there weren't many memorable holes for me. I think the most memorable hole is the 8th hole with that huge false front in the narrow green. I think it's just because of how far away it was from the rest of the course. I think it was a nice break in there. Overall, I think it's a really strong design. I think the difficulties there, the major like atmosphere or feel might not be as present as maybe some future publishes, but it's pretty strong. I had fun playing it. Good job, Brian Petty. And yeah, so I'm gonna get a couple more of these playthroughs recorded, and I will see you guys for the next one. Cheers.